1. When mentoring an apprentice preparing for the 310T certification, which approach best aligns with adult learning principles? A. Providing detailed lectures with minimal feedback. B. Encouraging self assessment and reflection on practical experiences. C. Requiring rote memorization of repair manuals. D. Limiting questioning to maintain instructor control. 2. In curriculum development for a 310T training program, the learning outcomes should primarily focus on A. The instructor's preferred teaching methods. B. The needs of regulatory bodies and safety standards. C. Minimizing hands-on training time to reduce costs. D. Theoretical content over practical application. 3. Which evaluation method most effectively measures competency in diagnosing electronic brake systems? A. Written exams only. B. Peer evaluation reports. C. Performance-based assessments using real diagnostic tools. D. Group discussions. 4. A 310T instructor observes that apprentices struggle with CAN bus system diagnostics. The most effective instructional adjustment would be to A. Provide additional lectures. B. Integrate troubleshooting simulations into lessons. C. Assign more reading material. D. Extend course duration. 5. What is the most appropriate feedback technique during apprenticeship evaluation? A. Provide corrective feedback immediately after a task. B. Delay feedback until the final review. C. Offer general praise without specifics. D. Compare the apprentice's performance with peers. 6. When designing a 310T training curriculum, alignment between objectives, instruction, and assessment represents A. Curriculum integration. B. Constructive alignment. C. Outcome omission. Modular isolation. 7. Which strategy best enhances retention for adult learners in hands-on mechanical training? A. Continuous repetition of theory. B. Immediate application of learned concepts in real tasks. Memorizing safety codes. D. Observing demonstrations without participation. 8. The 310T regulatory compliance standards primarily ensure increased competition among training centers. B. Safety, environmental responsibility, and competency. C. Lower costs for employers. D. Simplified certification procedures. 9. To improve communication effectiveness between mentor and apprentice, the mentor should A. Use technical jargon consistently. B. Employ active listening and clarify understanding. C. Focus only on corrective criticism. D. Limit dialogue to instructions only. 10. What type of assessment best determines readiness for the final 310T practical exam? A. Written reflection paper. B. Instructor-led performance simulation. C. Multiple choice pretest. D. Peer group evaluation. 11. An instructor designs a course focusing solely on hydraulic systems, neglecting electrical integration. This error violates which curriculum design principle? A. Vertical alignment. Horizontal integration. C. Scaffolding. D. Differentiation. 12. Which communication barrier most affects multicultural apprenticeship groups? A. Lack of diagnostic tools. B. Inconsistent terminology usage. C. Varying work shifts. D. Instructors' familiarity with the subject. 13. During performance evaluation, a 310T instructor should prioritize A. Observable behavior and task outcomes. B. Personal opinions about the apprentice. C. Length of employment. D. Attitude during classroom lectures. 14. Which mentoring strategy best supports independent problem-solving skills? A. Providing step-by-step instructions for every repair. B. Asking guiding questions during troubleshooting. C. Performing the task for the apprentice. D. Allowing mistakes without discussion. 15. The inclusion of safety compliance modules in 310T programs primarily serves to A. Reduce test duration. B. Fulfill legal and industry standards. C. Improve marketing appeal. D. Decrease instructor workload. 16. Adult learners in a 310T program are most motivated by A. Grades and competition. B. Relevance of content to their job performance. C. Instructor approval. D. Shorter training schedules. 17. In a diagnostic training scenario, asking the apprentice to explain each troubleshooting step develops A. Metacognitive awareness. B. Rote learning. C. Passive observation. D. Stress tolerance. 18. Which method ensures consistent skill evaluation among multiple 310T instructors? A. Standardized rubrics and performance checklists. B. Instructor discretion. C. Oral feedback only. D. Varying evaluation criteria. 19. A key purpose of regulatory compliance in 310T apprenticeship documentation is to A. Track attendance. B. Verify training meets provincial standards. C. Promote marketing. D. Replace final exams. 20. Effective mentors balance guidance and autonomy by A. Allowing apprentices to make decisions while ensuring safety. B. Dictating every repair action. C. Avoiding apprentice questions. D. Limiting access to complex systems. 21. Which instructional design approach suits competency-based 310T programs? A. Spiral curriculum. B. Inquiry-based learning. C. Competency mapping. D. Lecture-dominant structure. 22. When assessing communication during team diagnostics, the key criterion is A. Accuracy and clarity of shared technical information. Tone of voice. C. Frequency of communication. D. Amount of written documentation. 23. The main reason for integrating environmental compliance topics into 310T curriculum is to A. Prepare learners for customer satisfaction. B. Meet industry sustainability standards. C. Increase training costs. D. Enhance theory sections. 24. Which feedback technique best supports long-term performance growth? A. Balanced feedback combining strengths and areas for improvement. B. General praise for participation. C. Only focusing on mistakes. D. Ignoring small errors. 25. Which adult learning principle underpins scenario-based diagnostic training? A. Readiness to learn when content is problem-centered. B. Dependence on instructor authority. C. Memorization of parts catalogs. D. Passive observation. 26. An instructor introducing new diagnostic technology should first A. Connect it to existing knowledge and experience. B. Require memorization of the manual. C. Present a detailed lecture before any demo. D. Assign readings without discussion. 27. When mentoring, the most effective questioning technique is A. Open-ended prompts that encourage reasoning. B. Yes-no questions only. C. Rapid questioning to test recall. D. Avoiding questions to maintain flow. 28. Which curriculum evaluation method ensures program relevance to industry needs? A. Employer feedback and apprenticeship outcome tracking. B. Student satisfaction surveys only. C. Instructor preference reviews. D. Internal grading comparisons. 29. An instructor notices varying skill levels among apprentices. The best approach is to A. Use differentiated instruction and pacing. B. Maintain identical instruction for all. C. Focus on top performers. D. Assign identical assessments regardless of readiness. 30. What is the primary goal of formative assessment in a 310T training module? A. To guide learning progress before final evaluation. To replace certification exams. C. To rank apprentices. D. To meet administrative reporting. 31. When teaching workplace safety procedures, the most effective approach is A. Simulation of potential hazards, B. Reading regulations verbatim, memorization tests, D. Theoretical discussion only. 32. In a mentoring relationship, demonstrating professional ethics primarily helps A. Build credibility and model workplace integrity, B. Save training time, C. Increase technical speed, D. Reduce reporting requirements. 33. The key principle of adult learning applied in a diagnostic mentorship session is A. Learning through experience and reflection, B. Instructor-centered delivery, C. Memorization of procedures, D. Repetitive testing. 34. When developing assessment rubrics for 310T apprentices, which component ensures fair and measurable evaluation? A. Clearly defined performance criteria and observable behaviors, B. Flexible grading based on instructor discretion, C. Broad descriptions allowing subjective interpretation, D. Weighting theory over practice. 35. During a workshop on air brake systems, an instructor encourages apprentices to troubleshoot real faults in groups. This instructional method best represents A. Collaborative experiential learning, B. Lecture-based delivery, C. Independent theoretical learning, D. Instructor-centered teaching. 36. A 310T instructor uses diagnostic case studies from real fleet operations to teach complex repair concepts. This approach primarily supports which adult learning principle? A. Contextual relevance and experience-based learning, B. Authority-driven knowledge transfer, C. Abstract memorization, D. Competitive learning environment.